Okay, recently DC announced they're going to do a retroactive line, so I actually read two of them. Very rarely do comic book reviews, but I thought these two actually kind of warranted something. The JLA retroactive 70s. I'll be honest, what I don't like is it's a new story, and then it's a reprint of an older story. So the new story is Adam Strange was fighting Conjuro, and he gets teleported to Earth Prime. Earth Prime, of course, is our reality. So the cops are kind of like, yeah, we have no idea who you are. I gotta get the Justice League. You need my help to defeat Conjuro. Someone goes, Justice League? You mean like these guys? The Justice League finds out where he's at, sends a small team to go get him, and yeah, they save him in like seconds. Like, all right, you ready to go? What's he got red spots? They gave him shock treatment. We gotta convince him of who he is. And they take him to who? Julius Schwartz. So they actually go to the DC office, where of course he's like, everyone's like, you guys look really familiar. No, we don't. So it's like Wonder Woman, Zatanna. You know, you get a small contingent going in there, and they're talking to Julius Schwartz. And he's convincing Adam Strange who he is, and then they fight Conjuro and defeat him. The reprint is one of the JLA JSA Crisis team-ups, and then none of them feature Green Lanterns. None from either side. So it was neat to see one of those older ones, but you know, when you go from one that deals with Crisis on Earth Prime and deals with, you know, like Green Lantern and Hawkman fighting Conjuro, to one that doesn't have either Green Lantern and it's a crossover. You know, the main story for it was really good, but for $5, I would have rather seen like one continuous news story as opposed to a news story and then a reprint. Now the Green Lantern one, ironically, since this would have been the 70s, it's a Green Lantern Green Arrow one. So essentially, you have Green Arrow, who he accidentally shot somebody with an arrow like a year ago. He tried to go to a monastery. He tried to, you know, essentially get himself back to being regular. He's occasionally having nightmares about it. And as he's out, you know, Dinah gets hit with an arrow. He's talking to a guy, and the guy gets hit with an arrow. He then finds out who the shooter is. And the shooter is just some random kid that he knew at the monastery he went to. And he told the kid, that he'd never be like me. And he meant, you would never make mistakes like me, and the kid took it to mean he would never be as good as him. That's why he decided to essentially show that he was a better archer by killing and wounding people from a farther distance than Wilder did when he killed that one guy. So there's that story. And it actually ends with this really bizarre kind of off-the-wall Dennis O'Neil sort of way of doing things. And then what Green Lantern is doing, he gets this weird telepathic message. That's a crashing ship. And it's one of Avin Sur's people. And Avin Sur show up to deliver a message. A message to sentient beings that have gone beyond savagery. However, when his plane crashed, they then immediately get attacked by people. People who attack and kill their enemy. Doesn't know who their enemy is that are going to attack, and they're going to kill the enemy. So instead of deliver his message, he can't deliver because he's been shot, and then he dies. And then, of course, the reprint story is the ever classic. You know, you help out the purple skins and the blue skins. How come you didn't help out the black skins, Green Lantern? Which is a really solid story, but it's been reprinted like a dozen times. So I really wish that they would have actually done a full story to cover up like the full $5 value and make it like a nice, you know, full, long, new story, as opposed to regular sized news story and then a reprint. And that is Retroactive 70s, Green Lantern, and Justice League.